Every time it rains, your garden is losing something. This is keeping your plants from reaching their full productivity. Here's what's going missing and what to do about it. Rain is both a good and bad thing for your garden. The good part is that it means you don't have to go out and water. You can turn off your hose and shut down the sprinkler timer. Then just forget about irrigation while the sky takes care of it for you. If you have a rainy season like we do here in Florida, you've probably been enjoying the lack of work. However, this stretch of wet months comes at a cost. And even if you're in an area where the rain isn't that relentless, the cost of irrigation still adds up. Water from nature or your sprinklers can leach nutrients from the soil. The water washes the nutrients out of the root zone and into places the plants can't get to them. Over time, this depletes the soil of usable nutrition. The plants grow more in summer, using up some nutrients from the spring soil. The end result is soil that is depleted and plants that are no longer growing like they should. They may look peaked, they may grow slowly, or they may stop producing. Many new gardeners are confused. They think they added enough fertilizer in the spring. However, the problem is not how much was applied in springtime. The real problem is that it is no longer available to the plants. The solution. In principle, the answer to this problem is easy. However, the details are more involved. The soil needs a boost. Add fertilizer, compost, and maybe other amendments. How you apply these will determine your success in the garden or just keep you stuck. I have found that side dressing is the best way to go about doing this. In side dressing, soil amendments are not added directly to the places the plants are growing. Instead, they are applied next to them, off to the side. Also, the fertilizer is not just tossed onto the top of the ground. Instead, it should be dug into a trench about 4 inches deep and 6 inches away from the plants. The first step is to dig the trench. Then fill the trench with about 2 inches of compost. If you have very sandy soil, add some cocoa coir or peat moss along with it. Then put in the type of fertilizer that is best for your crop. Add bone meal and other amendments as well if those are needed. After you do this, mix all of the ingredients together. Don't leave them as separate layers. Finally, close up the trench with some of the soil that you dug out of it. If the weather has been dry, go ahead and water the garden. There are a few reasons this method works so well. First, the trench prevents your new fertilizer and compost from washing away in heavy rain. Rain or irrigation keeps things wet. This helps the fertilizer spread in the garden. Your plant's roots will begin to grow toward the nutrition and will meet it when they're ready. This helps prevent the plant roots and stems from getting burned. As the roots grow and the fertilizer spreads, they will touch gradually. This way the plants won't experience shock. Keep the trench 6 inches from the plants. This way you avoid hurting the roots while you dig. Do you really need to add anything? Before you decide how to add nutrients, you need to know if your plants are asking for them. The good news is that plants are not shy about this. They will tell you loud and clear when they are running low. The trick is knowing what to look for. The most common sign is yellowing leaves. When a plant runs out of nitrogen, the older leaves at the bottom of the plant turn yellow first. This is the plant pulling nitrogen from its old growth to feed its new growth. It's robbing Peter to pay Paul, and it means the soil has run dry. Another sign is slow or stopped growth. If your tomatoes or peppers seem to be stuck and not putting out new leaves or flowers, low nutrients are often why. You may also see pale or washed out color across the whole plant, not just the lower leaves. This can point to a broader lack of nutrition rather than just one missing element. Finally, watch your fruiting plants. If they drop flowers before setting fruit, or if the fruit that does form is small and misshapen, the soil is likely not giving them what they need to finish the job. Once you spot any of these signs, it's time to act. The longer you wait, the harder it is for the plant to bounce back. Why not just top dress? Some gardeners just go out every month or so and sprinkle fertilizer on top of their gardens. This may be easy, but it's not very effective. There are several reasons to use a trench method instead of top dressing. Rain or even light sprinkling can cause fertilizer to gather around the plants when top dressed. When fertilizer sticks to plant stems, it can easily burn them. Even organic fertilizers like bone meal or blood meal can harm plants if they touch them directly. The second problem is that rain can wash away fertilizer and other additions quickly when they are applied this way. In a trench, they would stay put longer. Finally, some types of plants really hate being buried deeper than they had been growing. This last one depends mostly on what crop you have, but it is still something to keep in mind. Another problem with top dressing is the smell. Organic fertilizers and amendments often smell. Blood meal and bone meal are especially known for this. The odors draw pest animals like rats and mice, as well as some unexpected ones like dogs. These animals can dig up an entire garden looking for the source of a blood or bone odor. Some will also find kitchen waste and other popular organic amendments appealing. Bury these items in a trench. Mix them with less smelly things like mature compost. This will lower the chance of varmints digging up your garden. Even when you use a side dressing trench method, you'll need to redo it every so often. This is especially true in Florida, where the growing season and wet season overlap. You should plan to dig a new trench each month in the rainy season. After that, refill it with compost and fertilizer. Change your fertilizer type based on what you want from your plants. Use specific fertilizers for fruits, roots, or leaves. If you're growing leafy greens, go heavy on the nitrogen because that's what pushes leaf growth. If you're growing plants like tomatoes or okra, focus on phosphorus and potassium. These nutrients help with fruits and roots. That's all for now. Happy gardening and subscribe to see more.